Hey guys, what's going on? This is Brian Martin here with your daily Manchester United news show. I've got a Marcus Rashford update for you and a question for you. Were we wrong about Andre Onana? Find out later in the show. Before we get started, please do hit that like button. Please share and please subscribe. We are on the road to 100. We are halfway there, maybe a little past halfway there, but you get in and you be a part of that first 100. I will try to do something special as soon as YouTube opens up the perks for me to give them out to supporters. So please bear with me on that, but be part of that first 100. I promise you will not be disappointed. Anyway, let's get into it. So Marcus Rashford, as you know, is on loan at Barcelona. There were reports and rumors that I reported on myself saying that Barcelona were looking to end his loan spell in January. I also said that I thought that that was a bit early to make that assessment. And now today I'm hearing that those rumors were in fact complete BS, right? That is coming from several credible Spanish football journalists. They're saying that the Marcus Rashford back to Manchester United in January rumors are false. Yes, he's only played 94 minutes, total, but again, there's only been what, 3 games, so he's gotten decent time. Again, completely different league, completely different team, knew everything, so it's going to take some time for him to bed in. I mean, the guy has had a goal contribution in what, like every other game or every game and a half, something like that. So that's not a bad record. So hopefully Marcus Rashford comes good. I like Marcus Rashford. I hope that he goes there and does well. And I wish him the best. I would love for him to go there and do well and somehow come back to Manchester United and retire a legend at United. But that is probably a dream at this point. Um, so with that said, Bayindir probably staying at this point, right? I mean, he could go, but I doubt it since Onana's going to Trabzonspor. So he'll probably stick around. So our goalkeeping core will probably be Lamens, Bayindir, and Heaton. Although if Bayindir does end up going, because there is still time for that, then it would be Lamens, Heaton, and most likely an academy prospect. So watch the space on that front, but I think we're probably done doing business in the goalkeeping department. Now, Tyrell Malacia is still looking for a move away from Manchester United. Again, he had the loan spell, I think it was PSV, didn't quite go so well. But I honestly think he should stick around and be a competent backup to Dorgu. So that way Dorgu can get a rest when he needs it. With all that said, reminder though, the Turkish window closes September 12th and the Saudi Pro League window closes September 23rd. Now, looking ahead, winding forward, that's a fast forward motion in case you guys are wondering what I'm doing. No, I'm not having any medical emergency here. I'm okay. Um, so looking ahead the next summer, Casemiro, his contract expires June 2026. So he'll probably make his way over to the Saudi Pro League and will probably hook up with Ronaldo at Al Nassr and they can relive their glory days like they did in Real Madrid. Bruno. I think that if we get a midfielder in January, then I think Bruno goes to Saudi in the summer 2026. If we don't get a midfielder in January, I think we might cough up the money to extend Bruno for one more season. That's what I think. Unless he's got some behind the scenes gentleman's agreement in place to go to the Saudi Pro League, I think there's still room for negotiation to keep him. Um, I know he's a divisive figure. Obviously, I've questioned Bruno at times. Um, I think this season he's particularly divisive because he's playing in the middle of the park, which is not his role. So I think we're seeing more mistakes. I think we're seeing more, attitude and bad temperament from Bruno. I think he's not happy playing there. I mean, of course, he's a footballer, so he's probably happy playing anywhere on the pitch, but I don't think he's as happy playing there as he would be playing in a more advanced role. So the Bruno Brews are Bruno. Bruno boos. There we go. The Bruno boos are getting louder and louder. But like I said, I think that's what will happen with him going forward. Now, speaking of the midfield situation, again in January, I think we're really just going to go in for the same guys we were looking at before, right? I think we are going to put in another bid for Baleba, see if we can tempt him away from Brighton. But again, the other names were obviously Holman from Sporting, Gallagher from Atletico, uh, Angelo Stiller, and Adam Morton. So I think we're going to try and go in and get one of those guys again, unless we decide to recall Collier off of loan, which I don't think will happen. So I don't think there's really much news on that front to report. I think it's going to be the same people, unless some like crazy, prospect emerges out of nowhere. I think that's who we're going to go with, or at least try to tempt in January. Now, in terms of injuries, Cunha, as I've been saying, injured against Burnley, hamstring, pulled out of the Brazil squad, should be out 2 to 4 weeks. Or will he? Apparently, his recent tweets have indicated that he might be back for City. Please be back for City, because I would love to see how he handles that atmosphere. I would love to see how he really comes out and just like, I don't know, like attacks. Like I feel like sometimes, you know, he kind of attacks like a caged animal in a way. I can't think of a better analogy, but like he just like when he really attacks, he just like it's all out action. And so I mean, I would love to see him just do that and put a couple past I guess Donnarumma at this point, right, for City, and really just shut up those fans and yeah. So hopefully he comes back. And wait, there is more. So apparently Mason Mount might be back in time for the match against City. As you know, he was withdrawn at halftime against Burnley. It was a precautionary move, is what I heard. Not sure what the specific injury or issue is or was at this point, but he might be back in time to face City as well. Now, Diogo Dalot, on the other hand, he seems like he's going to miss making the squad for the City clash. As you know, he usually plays backup to Ahmad on the right side. So we might be without Dalot for that clash. Now, with that said, who do you think starts against City? I know I've been asking you this. I'm asking you to get in the comments and do it. Let me know who you think will start against City. Before, I was going off of the assumption that we won't have Mount and that we won't have Cunha. But if they're back, who do you think starts? Or do you think that they start on the bench, right? Because if they've been injured or hurt or whatever, um, maybe you don't start them at City, right? Maybe you bring them off the bench. So again, who do you think starts? Get in the comments. Let me know. By the way, while you're in the comments, please like, share, and subscribe. Like I said, road to 100. We're almost there. Be part of that 100. So now the question I asked you and what's in the thumbnail, were we wrong? Were we wrong about Andre Onana? Were we? Well, let me recap actually. Let me recap. Sorry, I left you hanging on that one. So for those who don't know, if you've been under a rock, Andre Onana is going on loan to Turkish side Trabzonspor. Trabzonspor sold their goalkeeper to Galatasaray. So they are in the market for a new goalkeeper. Apparently, they were also looking at City's backup keeper, Ortega, but since Onana see, I've already forgotten him already. I've just completely forgotten him already. I've erased them from my brain. No, since Onana is going to Trabzonspor, that stops that move, but who cares about City anyway? So no loan fee to to United, no obligation to buy. So that means that Onana could come back to United, and I believe at the end of this season he would have 2 years left on his contract. So we'd have to deal with him then. But it seems that he has doubled his wages on this loan move to Trabzonspor through bonus fees and signing fees. So I guess well done to you, Onana. But now back to the question. Were we wrong? Have we been wrong? Are we wrong about Andre Onana? Are we? Are we? Are we? So there's a really good article, The Athletic, by Matt Pizdralski, a former goalkeeper himself and coach. And he kind of makes the case that maybe this is partially United's fault. Again, I'm not going to quote it directly. I think I got a line here I quote, but that's about it because I want you to go and read it yourself. It's well written. It's well thought out. Credit to Matt Pizdralski for that piece of work. But to kind of paraphrase and summarize a little bit, basically, As we know, Onana was brought to reshape how United plays out of the back, how we utilize our goalkeeper, right? So he came in with some fanfare. He came in with the style and the swag and the hair. We thought we were getting another, Manuel Neuer or another Ederson, right? Keepers who can play with their feet, who play out, who are bold, right, and dynamic, can like launch a counterattack, off of whatever they do back there. That's what we thought we were getting, right? And so obviously we've seen what we've gotten. Now, in the article, Matt kind of says, well, Onana thrives with a solid defensive line who can basically pass and receive the ball well, who can move, who can rotate well. That's where Onana shines. He did it at Ajax and he did it at Inter, right? Then he came to United and our back line was in shambles and it was a pressure cooker. And, basically the players weren't competent enough to play with Onana, right? Maybe that's why he went out and yelled at Harry Maguire in that one infamous moment. Um, so yeah, I mean that's really what the article kind of says in summary. Again, you should go read it. I think it's well written. It kind of makes you scratch your head a little bit, right? A little bit. A little bit. The reason why I say a little bit is because that doesn't excuse the out and out like goalkeeping errors, right? I mean, I was a striker and a winger, sometimes in the midfield, sometimes even right wing back. I stepped into goal for like a couple of games when I was 10 years old, because I was one of the taller kids on the team. And first off, you gotta be a certain kind of crazy to play goalkeeper. I'm sorry if you're a goalkeeper watching this. You gotta be a certain kind of nuts to be in like no, 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 no. Was not for me. I enjoy being on the other end of the ball when it's kicked. So anyway, um, yeah, I it doesn't excuse though his poor performances, right? I mean, getting his hands to shots and the shot still going in, right? Letting the ball slip under him, not coming out aggressively and clearing the ball, clearing your lines. I mean, just basic goalkeeping 101 stuff that he wasn't doing. And so you can't really put that on anyone else but Andre Onana, right? Like, okay, maybe his confidence was rocked a bit because our back line wasn't the best and there's a pressure atmosphere. But I mean, like, it isn't like Ajax or, Inter Milan or little clubs. I mean, like, they're storied clubs. There's pressure there to perform, of course. It's not Manchester United pressure, but it's still pressure. I mean, and plus the guy was in like Champions League semifinals and finals and stuff. I mean, like, should be kind of used to it, right? So I don't think that's a good enough excuse. I think having, a less than stellar back line is also not a good enough excuse. If you're good enough, you will accommodate, you will figure it out. Um, but yeah, so you know, tiny violin there, right? I mean, I hear it. I still think it's a well-written article, so not taking away from what Matt wrote on the Athletic. But yeah, no, no, no. Like Onana just Onana for Onana. Um, yeah. You can quote me on that one, guys. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. Anyway, so looking ahead, City next on the 14th. I think they're there for the taking. They have an injury crisis apparently. I think 11 first teamers may be out injured. So we need to capitalize on that and try and get 3 points there. Like I said, we started season well. I shouldn't say well. We started season all right against Arsenal. We stepped down against Fulham, and then we hopefully that was rock bottom, hit rock bottom against Grimsby Town. We picked it back up against Burnley, and so I hope that we can continue that momentum and defeat a presumably weakened Manchester City. So I think we can get 3 points there. I think we can get a draw to Chelsea. I think we can. I think that we beat Brentford and Sunderland. So I think we could get 9 points there, potentially, right? But at least we have to get 6 points. If we lose to Brentford and Sunderland, the Amram out crowd will be so loud. They will be standing on the tallest building, the tallest bridge, the tallest mountain, the tallest sand dune, the tallest, you know, whatever. I'm trying to address the fans all around the world from wherever climate you live in. The tallest iceberg, right? The tallest palm tree, whatever, wherever you are, right? Yeah, they will be standing on that and shouting Amram out. I mean, I'm already firmly in that camp. I still think, but open to change my mind, open and very open to being proven wrong. I mean, I would love to be proven wrong, but I don't think it's gonna happen. But I do think, regardless of that, I think we can get 10 points out of these next 4 matches. I know you probably think I'm contradicting myself, but sometimes players can take things into their own hands and turn things around, right? So either way, I think we've got the talent to get 10 points out of these next 4 matches. But get in the comments, let me know what you think. Do you think we can get 10 points? Do you think it's 9 points? Do you think it's 6? Do you think it's 3? Do you think it's none? Or do you think 12 points? Do you think we just sweep the next 4 matches? So let me know, get in the comments, tell me what you think. Again, while you're in the comments, please subscribe. Road to 100. We are almost there. I'll say almost there because we're over halfway. I think it's like 53 at this point. So we are over halfway. We are almost there. I am being optimistic, but be part of that first 100. Now, on the women's front, so as you know, if you follow the women's team, which you should if you support Manchester United, the women destroyed Leicester City yesterday, 4-0. Could have been worse. The Leicester goalkeeper was back there fighting for her life, making some heroic saves. So, a little tip of the hat to her. But the United women were, if you missed that one, you missed a treat. You missed a treat. It was a good game to watch from start to finish. Our new signing, Jess Park, made it a good debut. She came on in the second half. She really kind of reminded you of Cunha a bit, the way she got the ball and just really drove with it. So that was good to watch. We made a strong statement to start the season, looking really good. Toon, Mallard, Turlin, I mean, just, lighting it up there. So yeah. We do have another match coming up. I don't have it written down the date, but it is the first of a 2-leg playoff for the women against Brand, to get into the league phase of the Women's Champions League. So I think we should, win both those legs comfortably. We definitely should win the overall tie. So I'm going to go ahead and say that we're going to get into the Women's Champions League. Now, my concern on the women's front is lack of depth. Our squad seems threadbare. So while we've got a strong starting 11 and a strong bench, I only saw, I think, 5 subs on the bench yesterday. And that's a little bit concerning. I know there's been a number of departures coming from the women's side. I think we're bringing in Liverpool's number 2 from the women's side. So that's positive news. But I mean, like, we need some squad depth if we're going to be battling for the Women's Champions League, the Super League, and the Women's FA Cup, same with you. So yeah, like, got to find out what's going on that. And if I do, I'll let you guys know. Anyway, wrapping up here, reminders. Men are back in action September 14th against Manchester City. I will do a match preview. I will do a live halftime show, and I will do a post-match discussion on that. So please, 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 again, subscribe and turn on those notifications so you don't miss a video. Now, oh yes, ending on a positive note, So 7 former United stars are up for induction into the Premier League Hall of Fame. Those 7 stars are Michael Carrick, who I would love to have back in the midfield right now, Patrice Evra, Gary Neville, Michael Owen, Teddy Sheringham, Edwin van der Sar, and one star that I met in person, Nemanja Vidic. And let me tell you, that is a very intimidating man. Yikes. Like, I don't think he smiled for our photo. Like, yeah, I mean, if I was playing striker against him, like, the way he just looks at you and stares through your soul, like, just thinking back on it, like, I'm just, like, shook right now. Anyway, yeah, Nemanja Vidic, yes, very imposing man, very intimidating guy, but also hell of a defender. So congrats to him as well as the other United nominees, and honestly, congrats to all the nominees, right? I mean, you got to be supremely talented to even play professional football, let alone the Premier League, let alone be nominated to be a Hall of Famer. So congrats to all the nominees for that one. And thank you for all the memories that each one of you have bestowed upon all us United fans and all the football fans in general. So I will leave it there on that positive note. Again, please like, share, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.